Welcome. You may be wondering why we created Phasing Out of Trauma. Well, we'd like to start by sharing our stories. Um, I experienced a midlife crisis, and I felt an invitation from God to enter into the desert, not a physical desert, but a place of silence and solitude, because there was a wound there that God wanted to heal. So I started engaging in various spiritual practices, and I also went into therapy. And there I discovered how my childhood wounds affected me. I was molested by my best friend's father. There were a lot of us little girls in the neighborhood. It was like a Hansel and Gretel story. Fun, parties, cake, cookies, you name it. But there was this evil witch, or should I say monster. And I kept that a secret for a long time, and so shame had embedded inside of me. So through time with my therapist and engaging in spiritual practices with God, I came to a place where I felt nudged to share my story. It was really scary at first, but to my surprise, other women started sharing their stories with me. And then I decided, I felt nudged to gather these stories with permission and these spiritual practices that heal, and put them in a workbook called Not Alone, and started leading groups. And Not Alone is a Christ-centered recovery process for women who've had trauma. But over the years, I found that there were women coming and they were interested in Not Alone, but not ready to commit to that deeper work. So I thought of other groups like AA and Al-Anon. When people first enter a meeting, they need safety, they need support, they need encouragement before they're ready to enter into the deeper step work. So I saw this need for women who've had trauma. And when I spoke to Lisa about it, she saw the need too. And so that's why we started to create Phasing Out of Trauma.
And when we started working on phasing out of trauma, we knew that it needed to be trauma-informed and Christ-centered. Women needed a place to come and to receive more than advice. They needed a place of safety, a place of companionship, and a place to be able to encounter God and kind of reconstruct who God really was. I know for me, that was a struggle I had my entire life. I had experienced sexual abuse as a preschooler, and then again as a teenager. So in my mind, I thought if I could just become that independent, strong woman, I would be able to put all of that behind me. So I tried. And it wasn't until I was pregnant, married, already with a family, that it just came crashing down on me. It caught up to me, and it devastated me. It was so hard to even figure out where I was going to go. But God turned up, and He led me to Not Alone. And it was in those meetings where I had safety, where I had women sharing their stories, where I could say, that's me, and where I could open up and share what happened to me. Most importantly, where I could encounter God as my wounded healer, and where I could hear Him say, Lisa, you are my beloved. That was an amazing time for me. So much growth. But afterwards, I was still hungry. I knew I wasn't done. So I turned to the index and I asked God, what book should I continue using? And I did self-help, self-care, all on my own. With therapy, I had a therapist, but what we were working on in therapy was slightly different, right? The therapy was taking me in one space, and I had these other needs at the same time. So as I'm working through these books, I'm like, this feels good, but I'm missing the companionship. I'm missing the encouragement. I'm missing the feedback from the women that I had within the Not Alone groups. And so when Anne came to me and said, what do you think about providing this kind of safe space, this continual group model? I said, absolutely. It's so needed. I said, it would be my honor to work with her to bring this to fruition.
If you are a survivor, you don't have to heal in silence. You're not alone. God sees you, loves you, and He can transform your brokenness into beauty.
We know that as women heal, families heal. And as families heal, communities heal. And that ripple effect goes far beyond what we will ever see. But it all starts with us, one woman at a time, inviting God into our healing journey.
And that is why we created Phasing Out of Trauma.